Horizon.
We are deep in Horizon.
Forbidden
West.
Quest.
We're going west.
Yes.
I said I've gone west, and then you were like, you're not west,
there yet.
You're not west yet. I'm like, okay.
Was I right?
I think you're right.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because yesterday we both got
Cross
to that
the
part
line.
of the line.
You dare not cross the line.
But I did.
We're not going deep into spoilers, mostly because we're not that far into this game.
We're not that far.
No.
Yeah, you and I are pretty much at the same point. I think maybe I'm
Mostly,
a little bit ahead of you. Maybe,
but we made it to the west.
We made it to the west. Yeah. This
So-
is your first Horizon game.
I was gonna say,
I want to hear
so
your
we should
thoughts.
say you've played the original and this. You're playing this. I missed the first entirely.
Yeah.
And I got into this, and I tried to find. I was like, you gotta show me some explainer to get me caught up.
Yeah. I sent you videos. You do not like them.
Well, I really was caught off guard by how much story there was in the first game, and like how much happened, and how story focused that game was.
Yeah.
Like I kind of knew, I was like, oh, this is in the future. Like the world got destroyed, and now it's like robot dinosaurs and stuff. And I didn't. But it's like, no, this is like crazy how intricate this story is.
It's like woven into the gameplay, woven into the, the different things that's happening. Yeah.
So I can see why like it has such a passionate following, because I actually think now that I played this game, I think that the story and the setting is actually like the best thing that this game has going for it. I have no complaints with the gameplay, but it's a pretty standard open world game, but the story is like really unique.
Interesting and unique.
And like the character of Aloy, I really like her, and she really like lives up to being like the chosen one and kind of acts. Usually you get like the reluctant, like, oh, I'm like Jon Snow.
Yeah, she's a little reluctant.
I don't want it. But she's like, no, I'm all that.
No,
so
but
get out of my way.
a little like, she's like, don't call me a savior, like call me Aloy kind of thing. She's like still down to earth, but I think she knows that she's like awesome, which is great. She's confident in that, right? I mean, you missed the first one, no big deal. Like it does, NBD, but it does like build up to this, her becoming this character that you see now in Forbidden West. And like I said last week, this is probably one of the best stories that I've ever like played in a video game. It's just the way that it like reveals itself to you, and I can feel that happening in Forbidden West too, where it's like there's like these layers that we're like peeling away. Like the general premise is like stop the blight, save the world. Like it's pretty straightforward, but as you like go through the game and meet different tribes and you're uncovering the story like one piece at a time, you really get a sense of like, oh, this is like very intricate, like very deep, very well thought out.
You keep saying like, oh, there's going to be a crazy reveal. I'm like, what do you know?
I don't know anything, but this is what happened to me in the first game. I was like going through this game like, very like, la la la, I'm just like hanging out on this like robot horse, this is great. And then all of a sudden it's like, you're a clone. I was like, what? And I totally was like blown away by this like story reveal. So I kind of like, maybe I'm getting my expectations up, but like I'm expecting these layers of Forbidden West to peel away into this like great reveal that will significally shift your life.
Right. I think one of the reasons I didn't play the first one was I had played some of that developer's earlier games, the Killzone games.
Yeah.
And that was another thing where I kind of liked the concept of those games, but they didn't play right. I felt it's like there's something about the way this plays that just
wasn't jiving with you.
It didn't feel responsive. It just felt like kludgy. So, but I was very happy. Like the way this game controls is super tight.
I was gonna say this is like it feels great. Like as soon as you pick up the controller and start to move around, like it just feels like super snappy. Yeah. Like the character moves really well. There are different kinds of like combat styles that really kind of meld together well. You can do the range stuff with the arrows, obviously, with the bow and arrow, and then the spear, the hard and the light and heavy attacks just feel really right. I love it.
Yeah, I had almost like a sense of relief of like, oh, they
goodness.
they didn't do that again. Thank gosh. Yeah. And the combat is really, I like it a lot because you kind of need to. It's not a button mash kind of game at all.
You do have to like
these robots can take you down.
Oh, they're very scary, very intimidating. And I like how when you scan it, you have like where the weak areas are, and you've encountered the acid ones, right? Where you can like shoot the acid arrows and it just explodes it. Yeah. So you can do the stealth kills, which I am a personal fan of. I'm always like trying to hide in the grass and stuff. But, yeah, because I'm like too scared of the robots. I'm like, don't come at me. Like when it's like this scary like horde of robot beasts coming at you. It's like, oh, it's intimidating.
But obviously, kind of the calling card of this studio is these games look amazing.
Yeah, they do look amazing.
This one does look really great. Now there's a setting. Are you prioritizing frame rate or the resolution?
I think I prioritize resolution. Yeah.
See, I did the opposite.
Because I play on my giant projector.
And
I feel like I need more resolution. Because it's like 120-inch screen.
It's one of those things where when you try, so I was like, I'll go back and look at the resolution mode last night, and you kind of can't go back because it's so smooth.
It's so beautiful.
With the frame. Kind of the way my brain and eyes work, like I don't see a lot of difference in the level of detail, so I'm just happy to have the frame rate.
The frame rate?
Yeah.
I don't feel like the frame rate is dropping or anything.
We'll wait until you do this and go back.
Should I do that?
You should try it, because it's really smooth.
It's smooth now.
Yeah, but we were talking about, like, we had the same experience of when we were playing Ghost of Tsushima,
Yeah.
where it's so vibrant and there's
so
so
much
much
stuff,
It's like,
like-
oh, these leaves are falling down.
And there's like a firefly nest, and
there's like a cloud, and it's like your eyes are just like, whoa.
it like kind of hurts your brain
Yeah.
a little bit because it's like so much, especially in that first area, like that jungle-y area,
Totally.
where I was just like, I can't, I don't know where to look. It's giving me like making my eyes like blur.
Right.
But now that we're heading west or whatever, it's a little bit more like muted color tones and stuff. So now it just looks like you can see like the depth and all that stuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Right.
So you posted some vistas.
Yeah.
I guess we are Vista approved on Horizon.
The vistas are very nice. Yeah.
The vistas are very nice.
I will say, so far, the part I'm in is obviously open world, but it still feels like it has more room to open up.
Yeah.
Like you kind of start in this big valley or canyon where you've got cliffs on both sides of you, and I'm wanting to get to a part that's just more go anywhere.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get there now, because now that I'm looking at the map, like
now that I got the parasail directly from Breath of the
directly
Wild,
from Link,
Robo parasail.
Robo parasail from Link. Link is handing you a Robo parasail from Breath of the Wild. There's some similarities, but like if you look at the map now, like the mission, the main story is like a very like small little path on the map, and then the whole area is unexplored for you to like wander around.
There's another mode that I'm curious what you chose. It's like, do you want the game to guide you?
Oh, I did guided.
Or do you want to figure it out on your own?
I did guided.
I did too.
Yeah. Although I kind of wish there was an in-between, because now I'm like, there's too many pop-ups. After I like, go through a battle or something, it's like, I spend like 20 minutes going like collecting all the different parts, and there's like so many of those little triangle.
I think that leads to the visual fatigue a little bit.
Yeah, I wish there was like a mode that was in between, like lightly guide
Interesting.
you,
or
something. I don't know, but yeah, it is like a lot. Like there's a lot going on like all the time visually.
Another. This is not just our review of the settings of this game, but one other thing that is not on by default that I turned on is motion aiming.
I got that turned on too.
Yes.
It's so nice to have motion aiming.
Every game that has shooting should have that.
I know, right? Yeah, it's wonderful.
Splatoon's legacy.
I know.
Here.
I'm not playing on a stacked up pillow, but we're good.
Not playing on a Wii U gamepad, but oh well.
Oh well. So we're both enjoying it quite a bit.
But
we
have Elden Ring coming this week. What are you gonna do?
You are.
And I'm actually going out of town this weekend.
You are in a pickle of a dilly.
So I have this gizmo. Maybe some people called the backbone.
Yeah.
Which is like controller shell for a phone.
For your phone. So you can do cloud streaming.
Right, because you can do remote play through PlayStation onto that.
That does work though.
It depends on how good your internet connection is, but I am bringing that with me. I'm crossing my fingers that this internet where I'm going
it works,
is going to work.
Yeah.
Because
you can get through a fair amount of that game this weekend, and then Elden Ring comes out on Friday.
Right.
And so
I could trade off between those. I could do a lot.
I'm definitely going to at least pause on Horizon to check out Elden Ring a little bit just to see it. Oh my god, this is a bad idea.
Until you get frustrated.
This is a bad idea. Like two huge games this together.
I'm not super thrilled about it, but I also really want to see.
I want to see both. Yeah.
So this game's long. We'll be checking in on this game
Time to time for sure.